came across this video and I so wanted to react to it. It's from LFR JoJo and LFR Family. White women go off in black fatigue debate. Do you want to know what black fatigue is? It's what white people have because they have to deal with all the baby black bullshit with what we're dealing with now. What did I just deal with? Black people who don't know me, who've never said hi to me, come to my channel, comment on my video, harassing me, saying I'm 6,000 pounds, I have no kids, I was never married, and blah, 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 blah. I'm not going out looking for them. They are specifically coming to me to harass me. But that's okay because they're defending themselves. How are you defending yourselves when you're going and looking for trouble? So these videos are never that long, but let's see what the debate's about.
Race aside, and maybe if we did, we could actually get past race and deal with the issues that are affecting all of us, like classism and foreign.
You can't get past race because black people are the first ones to bring it up. So right there's a problem. And classism? Fuck you. Most white people aren't the higher class, they're Joe Schmoes. But you're talking to Joe Schmoes about how they're higher than you. That's a you problem, not a them problem, not a white people problem.
Entities, and to your point, people at the top controlling these narratives and all this other stuff. But I'm gonna stop because I could go on forever.
But I'm even more confused now because you said that racism is systemic, and then you immediately said the people in the room cannot change this because it's systemic. But then you said we need to move past this issue and start focusing on classism.
It's always something. Black people have to be victims. They always have to be the victim. They always have to play, oh, I'm strong, I'm no victim. But in the very next breath, they're a victim. You cannot talk to most black people. You can't. They can't have an intelligent conversation because they believe just the fact that you're white, you're above them. And then they say, you ain't above me. But the first thing you do is go to attack. The first thing you do is bring up race. Come on, most black people can't be that stupid. Oh, wait, yes, they can.
And the next prompt is: white privilege is a real and present force in America.
I took the white privilege test several times, and every single question black people can answer yes to. So that means they have privilege too. But they will never agree to that because they can't get handouts, they can't get freebies, which is what they think they deserve, like reparations. Add up everything black people have gotten over all these years. That's more than reparations. That's more. The cashless bail, the just killing white people and getting away with it, and blaming race on it. You cannot have a civil discussion with people like that. You can't.
This is one of those
This is a
divisive
setup that I
questions.
haven't.
Yeah. Okay.
Before they speak, this is going to be a good video. This is white conservative women getting into debates with black liberal women. And the problem that I'm discussing is white privilege is a real and present force in America. Before this video goes any further, guys, put a thumbs up or thumbs down in the comments if you agree or disagree with this statement. Thumbs up or thumbs down in the comments if you agree or disagree with this statement. Thumbs up if you agree.
I completely disagree because black people get more than white people. They get to say they made everything. They get to say they're owed everything. They ain't owed nothing, not even a fucking I'm sorry. They owe a lot to white people, but they'll never admit that. They'll just say, "You're racist," and that's it.
Agree? Thumbs down if you say no, that's not the case. I disagree. But let's get into it.
I'm gonna try to be a bridge right now. So this is my thought, and I just want to insert real quick. I don't think Charlie was shot for political violence. I don't put it in that category. I'm a follower of Jesus. I think that he was shot for proclaiming the gospel of Jesus Christ. That is my opinion. So I just want to. I think we're in a spiritual war. That's my.
That's not the question at hand, bitch. Shut the fuck up and stick to the question.
My opinion.
So you think it's like religious?
Huh?
It was like a religious violent act?
I think there are.
How would you
I think we
categorize
can
it?
all contend, be it George Floyd, be it Charlie Kirk, whatever. I think we can all contend that there's evil.
I agree with that.
Yes, and George Floyd was evil.
I think there's evil that are greater than anything red or blue, and I think a lot of people aren't ready to have that conversation.
So-
I think foreign affairs have a lot to do with this.
So
I'm not saying
Look at that bitch, thinking she's smarter than everyone, putting her finger up. Right then and there. And this one, smiling. Because they all believe white people are bad, but yet they have their hand out for white people's money.
I'm curious as to how you categorize what happened with Charlie Kirk.
I don't look at Charlie Kirk's death and go, wow, he was politically assassinated.
That's not your interpretation of
That's
it.
not my
How do you
interpretation.
interpret it?
I interpret it as that we are told, Christ was killed because of what he was saying. To say the Jews killed Christ. So he was being disruptive, and he was basically a truth teller and was killed for telling the gospel. Because ultimately, I believe my foundation and my fundamental level that I'm going to derive even my beliefs from, even what I want to answer what the question was too. But I just wanted to insert that because I
But do you
didn't
have an
want to say that.
interpretation that's not rooted, like, people need to be religious in order to understand what you're saying? Like, do you just have like a...
Well, I think we're in a
And black people are the first ones to invoke religion, but then look at this one, acting like religion means nothing.
battle between good and evil. That's what I think. I've seen evil at my door. I've got, for sake of time, I have, I'm not going to sit here and tell you my life story. But yeah, but there is a lot of evil, be it George Floyd, be it Charlie's assassination. And I think that there is a unifying factor, that there is good and there's evil. Now, that obviously goes into, okay, well, what do you define as evil and what do you define as good and all the things, right? So my fundamental level of that comes from biblically speaking. That's where I go to find my grounding and what I defined as good and evil. So I'm always going to have, if someone's not biblically living their life, we're not going to agree because we're living by two different moral standards, and that's fine. I'm like, okay, that's great, but don't tell me how to live my life. And I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. So that's kind of my thing. This is what I think about white privilege, is that I do believe because of Black history in America, there is generational stuff that that the Black community has had to overcome that the white community has not. Okay, so I want to start there.
White people overcame it by wanting you guys free. White people fought for black people to be free. And look at this one, just ready to fight. When there's no reason to fight, you're just talking. Black people put a lot of this shit, a ton of this shit, on themselves. That's what's generational about them. Hate white people. Meanwhile, white people are teaching their kids to accept everyone, to understand everyone. This is truly happening.
And I think, and I believe that there are things and roads that they're just harder. They're harder to overcome. If my parents were divorced, I am at a disadvantage now to stay married. And guess what? My parents were divorced. I got divorced. And this is again, I'm going to go to a spiritual aspect, okay? Is the sense that there is generational stuff that each one of us, like if I sat down and had coffee with each one and everybody, we could probably have a really nice chat about, hey, how did you grow up? Like, where did you grow up? What's your family dynamic like? And, you know, I've worked in recovery groups for a long time. And
So, what I'm getting from this conversation, and let me know if y'all agree with me, is that historically there is white privilege. That is just the objective truth. Historically in America, there was a literal privilege of being white.
Yeah, there
And the
was.
privilege is that you would not be enslaved. That's that. I don't know how I can get any more
But white people were enslaved more than black people. You can't just omit that fact.
real than that. But when I first saw this prompt, I initially looked at it from the presence of today, or at least relatively today, like to us, our parents, our grandparents. That's how I look at it, or at least us and your parents and like their full lives and stuff like.
And people have learned from the mistakes of the past. White people have learned from the mistakes of the past. That's why black people are free today. But no one wants to say that. No one.
That. So if you look at that and you look at what privilege is defined as in America, personally, I look at privilege as finances. I think that's the ultimate privilege, like finances and some education, whether that's in school or whether that's in trade or whether that's just in how to live your life, how to pay taxes, how to do all that stuff. That's education to me. The biggest privilege.
Jojo, I think you're fantastic, but would you consider yourself privileged because you've gone to college? You would immediately fight back and say, I worked for this, I earned it. Well, so have white people. But white people are not allowed to say that. You are experiencing a privilege a lot of people haven't gotten to, black or white. But all black people are going to see is black people good, white people bad.
That you can have to me is how much money does your family make? Like, really, where do you live? What state do you live in? How close do you live to grocery stores? That's privilege. And to me, America focuses more on capital than it ever did race, or not ever did, but ever does.
No, black people are equating money with white. Right now, in my home, I have a quarter. That's the only money I have in here. My bank account is once again overdrawn because there are so many things I have to pay for that even my medical insurance will not cover. But yet there are a ton of black people that say, I'm racist, get me off YouTube, I'm not allowed to speak, and this and that, all because I'm white. And the second they found out I was white, there was a target put on me by them. Any wonder why I have black fatigue? I've had to defend everything, including the music I like. And who am I defending myself against? Black people. And it's not all. It truly is not all. But it is the majority. Black people who don't even know I exist. Other black people are telling them I'm racist, go get her. And they come over to my channel and harass me. I'm not going to their channel and harassing them. And the thing is, I should just go away. Well, no, I think the demons need to go back to hell. And that's not white people, not the average Joe Schmo.
race today. And I think that's the privilege. So when I look at white privilege, I don't really agree with its base premise. I think that there's a wealth privilege in a lot of, or there are more predominantly wealthy white families or Asian families, because that's just statistically true. But there's a wealth privilege, and a lot of poor white people are suffering. And when poor white
Exactly, which is what I said. It's not a black or white issue, it's a green issue. Our money is green. And black people feel like all white people have it, no matter what they say. They feel like all white people have it and black people deserve it. And it's the degenerates trying to take it, not earn it, take it and hurt people.
people hear white privilege, it's like it just doesn't apply to them. So the reason why I'm not super for this statement is because in order for white privilege to exist, it has to apply to all the white people. And that
It
statement
can't.
just does not apply to poor white people. It literally does not apply to them.
It doesn't apply to poor black people either. It doesn't apply. Take the white privilege test. Even black people take it. Most of their answers are gonna be yes. So does that mean they have white privilege? No, it means they have privilege. They have rights. But they feel like no, they don't have rights. That's a them thing. But white people have to constantly put black people up on a pedestal and say they're wonderful, they're terrific, they're great, they made everything. If it wasn't for black people, white people wouldn't be here. No. If it wasn't for white people, black people would still be in chains. We fought for that because we didn't like it. But most black people today want to see white people in chains. That doesn't solve anything. Go after the people in power. Nope. Go after the average Joe Schmo because you know you'll get away with it. Most black people are cowards.
It applies to rich people and rich privilege and stuff like that. So that's what I think.
Things like that with the crazy spectrum of people from all different backgrounds, okay? But again, I derive my foundation of that. My goal is to make heaven crowded. And I truly believe Jesus is the only way, the truth, and the life. And so I'm always going to come at it from that angle. Now, in saying that, there is a really real overcoming that the black community had to do. I'm just sorry that that is the reality. It's a dark piece of history in America, and be from the Jim Crow
Started by black people. But look at this. Look at this. And this white woman is not blaming black people for anything at all. Watch them blame the white people.
laws all the way to the Civil War, everything. I mean, Black Code before they came up with Jim Crow laws and all those things. That is a dark part of the black community that is ingrained in your guys' history generationally. So there's mentalities, there's abuse, there's things that you guys probably were passed down in your guys' line
that shouldn't be here now, because it's not here now. But they want to act like it's here now. But it's not. The average white person doesn't want to see the downfall of black people. And that's the thing they need to check themselves on.
Weren't passed down in my line. And so I can acknowledge that. Now, I would also come from the standpoint of that once we become a Christian and once we meet Jesus, we become new in him. And he can give us.
This white woman, it's like she's begging them for something. Stop begging. You don't have to beg them for nothing, just like they don't have to blame you, beg you, nothing. Just answer the fucking question and then let them answer.
Newness, and he can break what we have been through and what we've come from. And so my stance will always be to lift people up to a place of equalness. That is my personal way that I operate in my life. I have people all over my life from all.
The white woman next to her is shaking her head yes. The other ones are looking like, bitch, we want to slit your throat. That's just what they look like. That's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it.
All spectrums. I just spoke at a gay man's house a couple months ago because I was invited there to, I'm all over the spectrum.
What the fuck are you putting out your fucking resume for? Just answer the question.
That's why I say, I'm not in a box, I guess, conservatively, because my ex-husband, his parents came illegally to this country.
Why are you talking so much? Just answer the question, let them answer it, and move on to the next question.
So my kids are half Salvadorian. So
See, this is what happens. White people try to make black people understand stuff like they're stupid. They're not stupid. They're just jealous of you. And they're never going to get over that. They have to reach down inside themselves and pull out that hate and throw it away. They don't want to. They want to hang on to it.
I'm a kind of a mutt, like a conservative mutt, where I think a lot of things need reform. I don't like a lot of the stuff in the police department. I am all for, I think that we need to have a strong, police and all those things, but there needs to be reform. There's some really crappy cops.
And there are really some crappy parents letting their kids do whatever the fuck they want, teaching their kids to do the things their parents did. There are so many videos on YouTube of that. And it's the majority black people teaching their kids the wrong shit. Go look. Go look. Stereotypes are there for a reason, because way too many people saw what was going on.
Out there. And so
I'd like to say one thing. We are sitting with the understanding that there will ever be equality. Now, when I say that, I'm not saying that just purely from a race perspective. And when we talk about privilege exists amongst everyone. What tends to be more prevalent is the privilege you see that white Americans would have, if you're looking at, from the lens of someone else. And that's
someone else meaning black people who have been brought up to hate white people. No. This black woman just blamed white people. The white woman was tripping over herself not to blame black people. There's a difference.
All we can ask, right?
Yeah,
so you look
I guess
through it,
the question was, I think currently, right now, I do not think it is. Currently, in 2025. Now, as I said, where I come from, I can acknowledge that there is a really dark history that the black culture has had to overcome that I didn't.
I also want to say that everyone has to overcome that, because that is America.
Yeah. Right.
That's not just because
and that's the Democrat Party. That was the Democrat Party.
No, that's an
KKK,
American
Jim Crow
problem.
law, slavery was all the Democrat Party.
But
Okay, again, the senior citizen from the South. I went to private schools. They had the black Catholic school and they had the white Catholic school. The one tuition was one price for the black kids, one tuition was one price for the white kids. And now, 60 years later, what has changed? We still have things. I'm a registered nurse again, but I've had the worst clients with a bachelor's degree in nursing, worst clients with less pay. I had to
that's the fault of your bosses, not the women sitting across from you. And as far as different pay for different people for tuition, I don't like that. If it costs $1,000 a year for a white kid to go to Catholic school, why should it cost a black kid $2,000? That I don't agree with. Okay? And this woman is complaining about making less money. Well, you have the opportunity to go to another job. And if the job is advertising one price and gives you another price, with the age we're living in now, you can have that place shut down. Because that's not right. If your job said you were going to get, let's say, $35 an hour, and they're paying you only $25 an hour, that's not right. And with the way things are today, you can have that job canceled. And they should be canceled for that. Why should you get less? But if you're not doing anything about it other than going after the average Joe Schmo, that's your problem.
Orient, and they're Christian in me, orient and help white nurses, Hispanic nurses that didn't speak English, Filipino nurses that didn't speak English. I got paid less. So if we talk about money and white privilege, how am I not the supervisor, but I have to train you to be the supervisor?
I agree with her on that. If she's got the experience and the know-how, why is she training others to be in a job she should have? But again, it's not these women's fault. They can't do anything about it. You have to go to the higher ups. If you should be supervisor, you should be supervisor. If you have the knowledge, if you have the experience, if you even have the temperament, because you're teaching people, you obviously have the temperament to deal with people and their bullshit. You should be a supervisor. Oh, well, it's my white bosses, then you take it up with the white bosses. You go over their heads. You get that job canceled. That may affect you as well, but why have them get away with it? And why take it out on the average Joe Schmo like the women sitting across from you who have absolutely nothing to do with that? Go after the people who are causing the problem, not the people who are not.
But also, is it
Well, the reason you're not the supervisor and you have to train someone else to be the supervisor is because you're still doing the job. When people have jobs and you're actively doing the job that you don't like to do, you're going to get what they want to give you unless you demand something else.
True.
The reason why they're
Which again, you go at your bosses. And nowadays you have phones that record everything. Record everything. Look, I really don't like training people to be supervisors, when if I can train them to be a supervisor, how come I'm not in that position? How come I'm not getting that extra pay? Why do I have to train these other people who are just coming in? And again, with the way things are now in 2025, you'll get that position. Your bosses may be fired. But instead, you're talking to the women across the aisle from you like they don't understand this shit goes on. It goes on with white people too. But those white women cannot do anything about it. You have to talk to the people who can do something about it.
treating you like that while you're training people to replace you is because you are allowing yourself to be in that position. You can say, I'm not doing that. You can look for other jobs, but you didn't. And I don't
Yeah, but jobs are really hard to come by, even though there are a lot more now because the immigrants are out, the COVID lockdowns are done, the riots, a lot of the stuff has been repaired. But it's not that easy to get a job, especially looking the way she does. And I'm not talking about the color of her skin. She looks old. They may not want to hire someone that age. So she has to go against the bureaucracy in her own job. And nowadays, you can get them canceled, you can get them fired. Oh, oh, but I don't want to do that to them. Well, it's either you or them. And if they're holding you back for no reason, go over their heads. And if that doesn't work, get them all canceled. You can do that nowadays. And it wouldn't even be, oh, black people are just being whiny bitches. No, you deserve this. You deserve to be in that position, and they're not putting you in it. But you can't take that out on the average Joe Schmo who has nothing to do with it, who cannot hire you for that position or not.
And I don't want to. I'm not trying to disrespect my elders or anything like that. But that's what's happening. It's capital. They look at money. They like, oh, if you're not going to ask, you're not going to receive. And that statement is kind of true. Not sure what this has to do with.
It's kind of true, but her bosses can turn around and say no. That's why she's got to go in recording. She's got to go in recording the bosses over her bosses. Then she has to take it to social media, to the news, to everything in order to get them canceled. Because she's qualified. If you're qualified to teach someone to do that job, you're qualified to be in that job. And then when she gets near retirement age, have her start training people to take over her job. There are so many things at our disposal right now that doesn't have to happen. But she just sits there and lets it continue to happen.
White privilege, like the statement white privilege, but let's continue.
You're
White
judging
privilege.
us by our skin color. If you say white privilege, you're assuming because I have lighter skin that I just had it so easy.
That's actually not what the assumption is.
Yes, it is, because it was already said. It's been said over and over and over and over and over and over again. So this one is getting ready to lie.
It's not even an assumption. You just haven't had to go through any of these hardships because of your skin color.
How do you know that? I came from Iran.
You don't know shit. So again, you're judging them on the color of their skin. But if they judge you on the color of your skin, that's a problem. But you judging them, that's fine.
Fleeing the country.
You're white passing.
And by the way, my
white passing. Who came up with the phrase passing? The same people who came up with, the good hair, the good eyes.
My half sister who lives there, she never plays the victim card, even though she's in. And let me finish.
Look, and she's like, "That's great," and she's laughing. Black people think this is a fucking joke because they see white people trying to defend themselves. They don't have to defend themselves against black people. Black people need to fucking sit down and chill the fuck out.
There's women that can't do the things that we do in this country. And the thing to me, I believe it's a psyop. If you're saying someone has white privilege, what are you saying about people that have darker skin, that they're beneath you? That's
No.
called,
Well, let's
to me,
figure
that's
out what
called
she's
white
saying and let her
supremacy.
finish.
Yeah, wait,
That's called white supremacy.
If I can, because like,
If you believe someone is beneath you just because of the color of their skin, that's racism. You thinking they're just a piece of shit and using their color as a crutch? That's not racism. That's calling it like you see it. This one came out and said she's passing. You just judged her for the color of her skin. But black people don't judge.
it even goes beyond not being that deep. Like, of course, we all know black men are killed disproportionately than white men by police, and then they're murdered.
No, that's not true. Go look at the statistics. You don't want to look at the statistics unless they favor black people being the victims.
That's they do 60% of the crime. That's a statistic.
Hey, please let me speak.
I know.
No, they don't want to hear they do 60% of the crimes. They don't want to hear that. And look, pointing the fingers. Watch their body movements. Watch them.
No, You've spoken for like 20 minutes. I've spoken for like 2. There's deep stuff like that. There's real stuff. Communities that are like still trying to get their families out of the trenches because of redlining and, like you said, different tuitions and unequal pay and stuff like that. But then there's even stuff like they just now started making Band-Aids in our skin color. Like it.
Fuck you. Who gives a fuck what color the bandage is as long as it does what it's supposed to do? That's a big deal to have a Band-Aid look like the color of your skin? You think that's a big deal, then you're part of the fucking problem. Let Band-Aids be see-through. Let them be white. Let them be black. Who gives a fuck? As long as they stop you from bleeding. Nope. Again, you gotta cater to black people.
It's even as like simple as that. Bandages were made to match your skin tone. For so long, nude was only in your skin tone. Only just now am I wearing a bra underneath this that is closer to my skin tone, but this came out in a lingerie line that came out in the last 10 years.
But that's a...
Well, fine. You have it. Shut up. Be grateful you have it now. You're putting problems on these women they have nothing to do with.
Corporation. That's not government.
No, but
that's a corporation.
A person is running
you
it.
should tell the corporation we would love to have it in our skin color.
Reflective of the larger.
There you go. But they're gonna always say white people bad. Watch.
Society.
It feels like irrelevant and dumb that I'm like saying this now by itself, but
it is irrelevant and dumb. For a long time, bras were only white. White, like your t-shirt, white. What? I think only albinos have that color white skin. As time went on, the designers realized there was a need. Fuck you and putting that on every single white person. Because if white people start putting everything on every single black person, you ain't gonna motherfucking like it.
Just along with like bandages, but there's also like makeup lines. It was really hard. My mom, when she was learning how to contour her face, we had to use black eyeshadow because there was nothing in her skin tone.
But you made do with what was there. So shut up. Things are learned as people go along. You can say all you want, well, it should have been like this from the get-go. True, but it wasn't. You are in a much better place now than your mother was. And all you want to do is keep going backwards. Well, keep going backwards and slam your head into the fucking wall.
At all, like her foundation. And then one time I ordered makeup online in my skin tone and they gave me a sample and it was like the lightest sample they had. It's like they weren't even considering that maybe the person who was ordering this wasn't white. And then if you go on set somewhere, the black hairstylists and black makeup artists are always expected to be able to handle everybody. They do everybody's.
And you expect all the white makeup artists to be able to handle everybody. Monique and a bunch of black actresses open their fucking mouths that the white women have makeup and hair artists while they have to do their own hair and makeup. Don't play. Don't act like this doesn't go both ways. Makeup artists pay for their own shit. So if they're mostly going to do white people's makeup, that's what they're going to do. They're not going to spend money on shit just on the off chance they might have to make up a black person. And if they don't, what is it, like 6 months? They're supposed to throw that out. They should just throw away money to appease you motherfuckers that they might never even get near. Fuck you. The same thing goes for black makeup artists. If all they really take care of is black people's makeup, why should they buy white people's makeup on the off chance they might go work with a white person? They might not, and that's wasting their money.
Hair, they do everybody's makeup, but
So what she's saying is that there are inherent privileges to being white, or at least at the minimum lighter skinned in America. And examples of that would be, for example, band-aid colors or makeup colors or bra colors, which could be true. I'm sure that there's some level of validity in those statements. I am 100% sure that there's validity in those statements. It would be easier to find makeup if you are lighter skin. I don't want to say white in general because it's not. When I heard the initial statement, I thought she was referring to like white American privilege. But if you're lighter skin, it's probably true. But in reference to the initial statement which they're debating, which is white privilege is a real and present force in America, when you hear that statement, or at least what I interpret it, is that white people in America have a better chance of success. That's what I heard. And I understand I'm looking at it.
And I think it depends on your attitude. White people don't walk into a job and say, I got this because I'm white. Black people walk in and say, if I don't get this, it's because I'm black and I'm going to sue. I'm going to wreck shit. I'm going to destroy shit. I'm going to hurt someone. There's a difference, JoJo. There's a difference.
From a different point of view, but privilege is success. Privilege is a good life. It's a happy life. It's a successful, safe life. That's what the force would be pushing you towards. But she's kind of referencing like band-aids and bras, which is still technically.
It's basically petty bullshit, which is all black people can really bring up, is petty ass bullshit. And they go to the past. What about right now? You want to go all the way back? Where if black people even dared to open up their fucking mouths the way they do, they would have been tortured or killed? I don't give a fuck if somebody's gonna put a black band-aid on me. Is it gonna stop me from bleeding? No, black people have a problem with color. It's not the white people.
A privilege, but to me is more so a trivial. It's very trivial, if I'm being honest.
Petty.
It's very trivial. And I'm assuming when white people hear this statement, they're not referencing band-aid colors. They're probably referencing tuition payments for their children.
Exactly, but black people will bring up this minor shit, and then when white people start talking about the minor shit, black people will change it and say no, but there's a bigger picture here. So they immediately stop the white people from talking. Black people need to be grateful and thankful for what they have now because their ancestors did not have it. I am grateful and thankful for what I have now because my parents didn't have what I have now. My grandparents didn't have what I have now. And my great grandparents probably didn't have what I have now. But Black people don't think like that. They think everything is still in the past because they don't get their own way.
Or they're referencing the ability to buy a home, or they're referencing the ability to get a job, or they're referencing the ability to save their money, or they're referencing the ability to pay lower tax. Like, that's kind of where I'm getting at, like really serious big things. And what she's bringing up to me is kind of like, yes.
And that's why there's Black fatigue. Black people like to jump and change the subject, and then white people have to catch up. And then when white people do catch up, they switch it back to the original thing and say, well, white people are only sticking on this one thing. No, they're trying to get their words out, and you ain't letting them. You want to talk about privilege?
It's like, yeah, band-aids and stuff, like, yeah, it's real life, but it's really trivial. But what do y'all think about this?
White hairstylists have done some crazy shit to my hair, crazy shit, and said things like, oh, I've never worked with this kind of texture before, even though they're the professional hired to be on set that day.
So, Black women don't know how to take care of white women hair. So right there, you're both equal where you don't know how to handle this shit. Nope, but it's only the white women's fault. That's where you Black people have a problem. And most of the time, you're not even dealing with your real hair. You're dealing with a wig or a weave. White women do not have to use wigs or weaves.
You're expected to do it all.
I will say, I think there's like a privilege. I know that sounds crazy to being, having to do more than us and having gone through so much. I think that we've heard a lot about spirituality, but I feel like because you guys have gone through so much, there's like an enlightenment to you. I always feel such a drawl and just so seen in a way that I don't feel as much with white people, I would say. So, I mean, I will just say that I feel like you guys are magnets, and I hope that your voice gets heard more.
Another one, begging for their acceptance. Stop begging them. If I was to go and work on a Black movie, the whole cast is Black. The makeup artist may not know even have the makeup to take care of my skin, to take care of my hair. Now, should the director, producer, whatever make sure that's taken care of? Yes, even in the opposite direction. But if they don't, you can't say, well, the makeup artist is supposed to be professional. She is professional. Her specialty is this. Stop begging. There's no need to beg.
Because I think that there has been a lot of trauma of just invisibility and your way of rising through it and still.
Where the fuck have Black people been invisible? Again, stop going to the past. None of them, Black or white, are sticking to the question.
Being survivors and stuff. I don't know, I've always felt like it's been super special. And I'm so thankful for the relationships that I've had.
Shit, not the bridge being built.
See, there go the Black people. Oh no, not the bridge being built. Well, how about we destroy the bridge, put you where you belong, and we stay where we belong? You're not going to like that because you're going to keep coming over to the white side.
I will never forget, let me just say, when I was younger, I will never forget looking over as a young kid and seeing a Black man get out of a Mercedes and something, I was like, that's success. And there was just always that vision. And I know it doesn't have to be like a superficial symbol, but there was just something implanted in me as a young kid. And I had a buzzed head when I was young, and I felt.
Look at the way the black people are looking at them. The black women look like they want to kill these white women. And these white women are tripping over themselves to say nice things to the black women. Stop tripping over yourself. Answer the question and move on to the next question. Because nothing you change is going to change. Nothing you say is going to change their minds about you. They're jealous of you. They want to be you and they can't be. So they want to kill you and take you out of the equation. That's what I'm seeing from most black people. Not all. Most.
Like I think I've allowed myself to see that, like, having shorter hair as a female, like I haven't seen myself a lot on in the media, and I've heard that be a complaint of a lot of other people of not feeling that represented. So I think kind of feeling othered a lot in my own world in just a small way.
What does having short hair have to do with anything? And where are you not represented in the media? You're white. White, black, Hispanic. You can find white, black, Hispanic, Asian, Indian, whatever in the media. But you're worried about short hair? And you not being represented because you have short hair? What the fuck is wrong with all these women on this panel?
Had made me feel like a kinship. And so I think that while there's privilege to be.
Look, none of them are feeling a kinship towards you, stupid. None of them. And this one said this one was passing.
White, I feel like there's another privilege that doesn't get spoken about of actually having to suffer, because those are the people that really knows how to like have resilience.
It's a privilege to suffer. This is what happens when dopey ass white people try to trip over themselves to make black people feel okay. Just speak. They don't like what you have to say, fuck them. You don't like what they have to say, fuck you. But just speak.
And rise up and actually listen and just thrive. So
I know that we were just celebrating the bridge you made, and I don't want to tear it down, but I think I had a different response seemingly than the rest of the room to that. I know that you mean well by that.
She had to fucking basically bow down and lick the black women's asses for them to celebrate the bridge. Now this one is gonna condemn it. You cannot satisfy everyone. Just talk how you talk, and either people are gonna like you or they're not. There are some black people who like me. There are some white people who like me. Okay, there you go. I don't need every white person to like me. I don't need every black person to like me. I'm talking how I talk. You don't like it? Fuck you. I don't like how you talk. When you change how you talk, I'll change how I talk. No? Fuck you.
And I can see that you're very genuine. I have a really hard time sitting with the idea that the significant trauma that the black community has experienced in this country.
Why are you bugging your eyes out? Every black person brings up the past traumas they've been through, right down to the color of band-aids they were subjected to wearing. It just happened here on this panel.
Country has made us enlightened, and that there's like this beautiful spiritual quality.
See, she's making fun of what the white woman said. This one is obviously agreeing. This one thinks who the fuck she is. This one thinks who the fuck she is. And the old lady is just sitting there listening. Black people have a problem with white people just because they're white. You see it here. Why the fuck are the white women tripping over themselves, trying to explain things to black people, trying to lift them up, and they're doing nothing but stomping down everything they say? Stop blaming. Stop begging black people for shit, and black people stop blaming white people for shit.
That it's given us, because I think it feels, and maybe I'm just speaking to the way that's landed for myself, like a huge bypassing of how genuinely traumatic that is, to be like, well, look at you, like you're radiant now.
No, I'm not saying that.
Like I'm
And here's the
Yeah, you did say that, bitch. And you see what I mean? You said they're radiant. There's a magnetism there. You want to be close to them. And look what she's doing. She's trampling all over everything you fucking said. If you say black people bad, they go at you. If you say black people good, they go at you. There is a problem, and it's not with white people.
this is like for, and I'm gonna be as polite about this. Y'all be in the comments going harder than me, but this woman, this white woman, tried to build that connection, tried to make a bridge, saying like, yeah, like you guys did have it hard. So like historically, she said that. And when she kind of looked up to black men, for example, when she was younger, she saw this black man get out of a luxury vehicle, and that really inspired her. She said that, and she's trying to basically relate to the black community. And rather than you saying, yeah, thank you, or yeah, you're right, like it is motivational, it is inspirational, you completely, literally completely pooped on everything she just said.
Exactly. That's what they do because they're fucking jealous. How the fuck can she be so happy and we're so miserable? Because you make yourselves miserable. Stop blaming white people for every fucking thing that's wrong in your life.
You immediately pooped on everything she just said. So this is where I'm confused. You don't want white people to relate to you.
Nope.
You don't want them to not relate to you.
Nope.
You don't want them to dismiss what you say.
Nope.
But you also don't want them to acknowledge what you say.
Nope. Black people just want white people to go away. They don't like looking at them, especially the white women. Black women cannot stand white women. Why? Because most of the black men want white women. And it's not because of looks, you dopey fucks. It's because of your attitude even towards your own men. Jesus Christ, we're seeing it all play out right here. White people are tripping over themselves to be nice to black people, and black people are just trying to stomp all over them. Oh, wait a minute, I can't say people. It's black women trampling all over white women.
What do you want? And this is a real question. What do you want?
They want anything and everything, and the second you come up with something new, they're going to want that too.
Because she is trying to relate. She really is trying to connect. She doesn't understand a lot of things in the black community. Obviously, the same way a lot of black people don't understand a lot of things in other communities. That's just how life is. You understand your community the most, where you grew up. It doesn't have to be just race, but the community you grew up in, you understand that community the most. And she's trying to really relate and put some type of, motivation there or something. And you just pooped on it. And now she's backtracking what she said. She's about to be like, well, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying this. You just had a beautiful moment.
Because black women, especially black women, have to make white women trip all over themselves to bow down and kiss their asses. Bitch, ain't nobody worth kissing ass. Black or white.
Moment and you just got rid of it.
Saying that you've been through something, whereas like we're over here and who knows how much we've even been through.
Yeah, and like I'm not.
But you've also rolled your eyes at so many people that have been speaking.
Yep.
So I don't know if that's your.
I mean, a lot of really insane things have been said.
I don't know if that's your immediate response is just to roll your eyes.
It is.
I might not have the best language with it, but I know that on a soul level, I feel I have a lot of awe and respect.
And I appreciate that a lot.
No, you don't.
Take it where you can get it.
Yeah, I
Exactly. Take it where you can get it. But no, they want everything. And then once they get everything, they want more. Anytime something new comes up, they want it. They feel they should have it. If they decided they wanted this woman's black feather earrings, she should just give it to one of them because they want it. That's the majority. That's how they feel.
I appreciate that. I all I'm saying is this idea that somehow having endured what the Black community has endured in this country and coming out the other end, barely surviving. There are people right now who are not surviving.
There are white people who aren't surviving either. So now white people are saying you're strong, you're resilient, which you've been saying for years. You got a problem with that.
That's somehow a privilege is ludicrous. And like I don't maybe
Not a privilege. Not a privilege. She's saying it's inspiring. You don't want to hear that either. Majority of black people, especially black women, are jealous of everyone and every fucking thing. Don't play.
what you said completely landed wrong with me, but that's how I took all of that, and that's all that's
There
happening.
is no.
You take it the way you want to take it, bitch. You don't take it as it was given. It was given as a good thing. You turned it into a bad thing.
Historical educational context to this conversation, although I appreciate everything every single person has attributed. I genuinely do hear about the topic. This is systematic, which means you as individual people may totally not be doing anything at all to perpetuate this. It just is. I have certain privileges. Everybody here has certain privileges. This is systematic. Black women are 4 times more likely to die with anything related to do with maternity. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like this.
And I'm seeing that now in a show called Sisters. I haven't experienced this. I can't say nothing other than if that's true, it's got to stop. In the show Sisters, a black woman was pregnant with twins. A rare thing happened. She had sex with 2 guys and had 2, in a sense, separate pregnancies. That's how they're twins. One guy was the father of one baby. The other guy was the father of another baby. Because of a white doctor named Cruz, one of the babies died. Both babies could have died, and the mother could have died. She was bleeding so bad, and he just said, "Trust me, I know what I'm doing." If that kind of shit is going on, those doctors need to be dead. I don't care. The patient's black, the patient's white. You took an oath. Take care of them. Take care of them the right way. Don't take care of white patients one way and black patients the other. Don't do that. But these white women can only talk about their own experiences and things they know about, things they've seen. Same thing with the black women. You cannot really talk about shit if both haven't seen it. And again, why are you bringing up something they have nothing to do with? Oh, they're white, so that makes them have something to do with it.
is systemic.
Explain that.
This,
Yeah,
and then
explain
also
that.
too, which I really appreciate you bringing up, and I'm going to connect it, which I really appreciate you bringing up.
Which part?
About, I'm going to tell you
Yeah, I'm
earlier when you
curious.
said the
I've
stuff
never heard
about
that.
like Reconstruction and Black codes and Jim Crow, right? Like you were saying all those things. A lot of that stuff, my sister is also a nurse. So like, let's say medical documentation for an example. Like this is a little bit of an example, right? It'll say like, for white patients, sometimes more often than not by studies in the field, it'll say, this patient, expressed that they had, pain and they were very agitated because they were in so much pain. For a Black patient, it'll say more often than not, this person was aggressive
seeking.
or like med seeking. We need to, you know what I mean? It's like there's always a suspicion because that comes from another lineage. So just as
And there shouldn't be. But how do these white women have anything to do with that? How? So again, they've said all the shit Black women have had to put up with. It is inspiring that you can still come out of it and go on. No, that's wrong. Everything a white person says is wrong. How come? This medical shit has nothing to do with these women. Nothing. Again, you're bringing up shit that goes on that they have no control over, they don't know about. Yes, you're telling them, but you're also putting it on them like they're at fault, and they're not. If this is going on, something needs to be done, but you can't go to the average Joe Schmo. You have to go to the people who are causing the problem. But you just want to talk to the average Joe Schmo. Oh, why? So the average Joe Schmo, white Joe Schmo, can bail you out of your fucking problems again? Those doctors who pulled that bullshit, they should not be alive because they cost lives. They broke their Hippocratic oath. And for something as stupid as skin color. But most Black people, most Black women would rather go at white women instead of the people who actually did something to them. That's just what I'm seeing.
there was so much trauma passed on with us, which thank you for acknowledging, it's true. There was a lot of other stuff passed on to a lot of other people, and that's why we have people marching in the streets chanting that same rhetoric in 2025.
And those same people will kill a white person just for walking near them. Do you excuse that as well? I remember during the Black Lives Matter riots, there were these two white college kids calling out to the Black people who were marching, "We stand with you. We believe in you." And what did they do? They threw something at the window and smashed the window. Did they get arrested for it? Did they pay to have the window replaced? No, they went on to do other bullshit. Don't play. Don't fucking play. Black people have gotten away with too much fucking bullshit. And I'm talking about just this year alone. You cannot hold white people today accountable for what white people did 40, 50, 60 years ago, 70 years ago, 100 years ago, 400 years ago, 5,000 years ago. But you wanna. And then when some of them do take responsibility and try to help you You don't want that either. You just want white people, especially white women, gone. Because you're seeing something you can never be. That's a you problem.
And so I think there's this misconception that like if we acknowledge white privilege exists, I went viral for saying that when I was on another platform and they asked me 5 years ago, do white people experience racism? And I said no, because in context, which we don't know and we're not taught, so I'm not mad at anybody here, because as a teacher, I realize the fundamental thing is that we don't know our own history.
Well,
And you're teaching kids this bullshit. White people do experience racism, and they have for years. From who? Not other white people, from black people. So don't sit there and act like black people are the innocent victims in every fucking situation, which is what you're doing.
And I think she's a smart woman. She's a teacher, but you're kind of contradicting yourself.
Yup.
You opened the statement and said that the racism that the black community experiences is systemic or systematic, is what you said literally. And then you followed that by saying that the people in the room may have had nothing to do with the racist system that we live in. They may have personally done nothing, but then, which you might be accurate, possibly. You followed that statement by saying that white people, specific white people, cannot experience racism.
Which is bullshit. I'm experiencing racism every second I'm on YouTube. Even if I went to my other channel, the black people in this sector would follow me there like they're hunting me. And they're not going to want me to talk there either. Again, that's not a white people problem. That's a black people problem. And black people don't know how to take care of their black problems. Or, excuse me, most of them don't. There are some that do, but most do not. That's why they have to get other black people to gang up on white people. Case in point, that piece of shit Arabia. That piece of shit fucking micro dick Greg. DJ Cleveland, now DJ Smoke, Melanie on Fleek, Anime Girl. There was enough. Why are all you fucking pieces of shit coming over to my channel? You don't like what I have to say. Why subject yourself to this shit? Because I'm white, they're black, and they love to bully white people. And it's not all. But they have bullied their own people. There's a woman on here named Julia. Even Kwame Brown, that douchebag motherfucker, brought up how she had a piece of dog shit on the floor. She was at work all day long. She has kids. She has a dog. I guarantee you, those kids said, "Oh, don't worry, mommy. I'll take the dog out. I'll take care of it, this, that, and the other thing." Meanwhile, the kid or kids stayed on the fucking game system all day long, and the dog had no choice but to go on the floor. So she comes home from work, she's got to deal with all that as well. But just went after your own fucking kind. There's another woman on here named Cece. She is now a target. Micro dick pussy bitch Greg said she is a target because she actually likes me. Why are you targeting her? She knows all the bullshit I say. Some of it she agrees with, some of it she don't. That pussy bitch Greg also said he went after a woman named Lonnie last year for liking me. This is what black people do. I have not had one white person tell me I shouldn't like anyone. But I'm causing division in this sector? You're a bunch of lying sacks of shit. And this video just proves my point.
But you initially said the racism was systemic. So are they not allowed to experience any systemic racism? And even if they're not allowed to experience any systemic racism, are they not allowed to experience any personal racism? So the problem that I'm getting with you right now is that you aren't really separating the fact that two types of racism can exist. Systemic racism can exist and personal racism can exist. So you saying that white people cannot experience racism, are you referencing a system or are you just saying in general they cannot experience it? Because I know for a fact white people watching this video have experienced racism.
Yes.
But, you know,
Thank you, Jojo. Thank you.
I think I actually want to finish. I want to hear her finish this statement.
As Americans, race aside, and maybe if we did, we could actually get past race and deal with the issues that are affecting all of us, like classism and foreign entities. And to your point, people at the top controlling these narratives and all this other stuff. But
So basically, she thinks deal with the Joe Schmoes first. But the Joe Schmoes are sitting here just trying to talk with you. They've been tripping over themselves, which I think is stupid, to not make you feel a certain way, to make you not feel triggered. The Joe Schmoes are not your problem. But you cowardly fucks will not go after the ones who are beating us against each other. You're just following them blindly.
I'm not going to stop because I could go on forever.
But I'm even more confused now because you said that racism is systemic, and then you immediately said the people in the room cannot change this because it's systemic. But then you said we need to move past this issue and start focusing on classism. But if it's systemic,
she's trying to sound highly intelligent and she cannot. Because when you're intelligent, you understand that when you say one thing, yeah, but if it starts to look bad on your own people, you cannot backtrack and take that all away, which is what she's trying to do.
how can I move past something if I can't control it? It's not my fault that I'm not participating in it.
Of the population rather than the color of your skin? Could it be like, oh, we're learning how to do hair?
Yeah, but she's sharing
let me
her
finish.
experience.
Let me finish what
I'm sharing
let me finish
American
what I'm
history.
saying. Can I finish my thought, please?
So this bitch speaks for all Americans? Again, that's another problem with black people. You're trying to speak for all of America. Meanwhile, you've got other Americans represented here, and they're not feeling the same way you're feeling. That pisses your fucking ass off, too.
So we're looking at the population, the black community is 13%. So when people are learning to do hair, maybe it has nothing to do with just because you're black. It has to do with people are learning how to do the majority of the population.
always
Exactly.
been the excuse.
That's true, but
Look, that's always been the excuse. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. Why should any makeup artist buy makeup for people they don't deal with all the time? See, this is why white people have black fatigue. Black people want to be the victims in fucking everything. And they want to be taken care of in everything. Even though they're not in everything, they should be in everything. Fuck you. Let's see. How long should you keep makeup? You should keep makeup based on the product types. Eye products like mascara lasting 3 to 6 months, while powders like blush and eyeshadow can last up to 2 years. So they should buy, and it didn't even say anything about foundation. They should buy shit, even though they've never really dealt with black people, black women. They've only dealt with white people. That's most of the jobs they get called for. They should spend the money and get black products just in case. And vice versa. Black makeup artists should do that too. But then what happens at the end of those 6 months or 2 years? If they haven't used the makeup, they have to throw it away. That's money they spent for nothing. For nothing. Most black people, most black women, you cannot talk to because every time they open their mouths, they have to be the victim. They're right, you're wrong. Then when you treat them like the victims they claim they are, you're in the wrong for that too. The problem is white people breathe and exist. That's the fucking problem.
But I'm just saying
That's
that
why
it
I
could
brought
be,
in real
this is what I'm
historical,
saying, but
systemic,
we
and
see
systematic
everything in
examples.
color. And when I've gone to board meetings, this is what bothers me. I go to a school board meeting and they talk about white privilege and this. So you're telling my child who's never been a part of, Jim Crow law, racism, any of this, that she's an oppressor and that black kids are oppressed. I believe both.
Exactly. Who the fuck are black people to teach this to kids? And they're teaching the black kids the same thing. They are oppressed, white people are the oppressor. White people are not teaching this to their kids. Black people are, and they continue to. So isn't that systemic too? Shouldn't that be stopped? Shouldn't it?
Both of them are evil, and I'll tell you why. Number one, how do you keep a person down? You tell them they're a victim, and there's no way of rising up.
I do agree with that.
And I think that's a
And black people call themselves victims all the fucking time. They love playing that victim card. Or excuse me, victim crutch. And then it's followed up with the race crutch. So people who want to walk around on crutches all the time, you cannot talk to them.
I think that's
white privilege will
psychological
never
warfare.
stop my black excellence.
Yeah, let me finish.
So we
I think
agree.
that's a psychological warfare
If they'll never stop you, that you know what? Whatever.
against the black kids, and I think it's also a psychological warfare against white kids because they have to feel shame and guilt of something that they've never been a part of, and it's a divide.
Exactly.
Now they're pitting white kids against black kids.
And look, the black women are not letting her finish because her kids should feel that way. And black kids should always feel like they're the victims? That doesn't make sense.
That's wrong because, again, as a Christian, we believe there is no such thing as race. We believe we are all in the image of God. That's why it upsets me because it is divisive.
But you see how I'm the one that injected that? So I believe that as history, because historically that's what happened.
Stop bringing up history, bitch. Keep it to the here and now. No, they want to use history as a crutch too. How many crutches do black people need? I really want to know. Instead of going off on 6,000 pounds, oh, excuse me, 600, according to you fucking lying bastards, how many crutches do you fucking need to get by day to day? How many?
But to say racism was not a construct that came and was implemented and imposed to validate segregation, Jim Crow.
Oh, I think it's awful.
Oh, 5,000 years ago, how come the Middle Easterners didn't go to white countries to enslave white people first? Why did they go to Africa first to enslave black people? Why? You really want to know? Because white people were enslaved way before that. It was just already happening. So they found more people, and your own people sold you, stupid. The women I've named in this sector of YouTube, Lonnie, Cece, and others, they have said they have been screwed over by their own people. Lonnie has said she's never been screwed over by a white person. Oh, well, that's just her. No, that's probably the majority. But you're all taught hate white people. Hate who's lighter than you. There's a fucking douchebag in this sector named Will T. Yo acting light-skinned. Who comes up with this shit? Black people. High yellow. Black people. The good hair. Black people. The good color eyes. Black people. Who's causing all the division? The black people. It's not white people. These women have tripped over themselves to include you all. And don't think I haven't noticed there are 5 black women and 4 white women. They're trying to include black women, saying they're equal, and the black women just want to say, no, we're not. We're lower than you because you're white. But then they say that's not what they're saying. Do I have to rewind the entire video? That's all they've been saying.
The reconstruction on that
I'm
is
totally against.
No, the lady in the green is totally right. She's 100% right
Yep.
because you even said that racism was systemic. But if it's a systematic issue, what are white people supposed to do? Like day-to-day white people, what are they supposed to do? Like genuine question.
Thank you. The average Joe Schmo. What are we supposed to do? No, the fucking cowards will not go after the elites who are causing these problems. It's easier for them to get the Joe Schmoes because the elites don't give a fuck about the Joe Schmoes. It doesn't matter what happens to them. And black people know it. They know they'll get away with it. They are fucking cowards. Who's responsible for the government shutdown? Schumer and the Democrats. Instead of going after them, they want to go attack white people, even in their homes, and take what they have. And if white people defend themselves, they're racist. They took the life of a good black person. Fuck you.
What are they supposed to do? You said it was a systemic issue. What are they supposed to do right now? Like the women sitting in that room, you're telling them, oh, it's not even you, it's systemic. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? What I'm getting at is that there's nothing that they can literally do according to your logic. And the woman in the green exposed that. She's like, well, it's like an attack on not just black students, it's an attack on white students because you're telling black students that they are that they are being subjected to a lot of racism, but then you're also telling white people that they are imposing racism when white people are like, well, it's a systemic thing. How am I opposing it? And black students are like, well, I haven't experienced this, but I've been told I was supposed to experience this.
Exactly. They're going by what they're told by their parents. The hatred is being passed down, and it's not being passed down by white parents. Keep that in mind, black people, especially black women, when you go after a white person.